opposition to the press being there was this guy from New York City who was discussing mass fatality management, who apparently dealt with the 9/11.
Yeah, our guy Williams said that he saw him there and was thrown out. We now have the YouTube video of our reporter, or a fella there doing reporting for us, getting thrown out. Did you see that happen?
I didn't see it, but I did talk to one of the conference organizers. By the way, the company that organizes conferences is an Arab-owned company. They're based apparently out of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. So, the reaction even by the organizers to this guy from New York City was, they said that was very peculiar.
Interject Systems and others. Here's the internal document, folks. We're going to be going over all of this. Well, Wayne, as this unfolds, we'll continue to check in with you at WayneMadsenReport.com and link it up at Infowars.com. Anything else you've got to add? We're expecting this to peak as it did in 1918 in October. Probably the first week it'll peak, but we're already seeing surges in places like Minnesota, Washington State, college campuses. And you're saying the intel is this is man-made and being done by design?
This was man-made, absolutely. This is coming from a top virologist who spent since April first showed up in Mexico, has been spending all of the time.
Stay there.
Okay.
Stay there.
How many times have you been in a situation where having a hidden audio or video recorder would have made a difference in your life? In the past, owning a hidden video recorder has been expensive and too much of a bother to carry. That was then. This is now. Introducing Diginet Spy Sunglasses. These sunglasses contain a small hidden camera that will record up to 4 hours of real-time audio and video. The Diginet sunglasses are perfect for traffic stops, unlawful searches and seizures, town hall meetings, proving your innocence, or any other situation you'd like to record. And if sunglasses aren't for you, check out the DigiPen. It does the same great job as the sunglasses, but in the form of a functional pen. Video never lies. Watch Big Brother back. Visit diginet.net. That's DIGANET.net. DIGANET.net. Diginet.net. Or call 1-888-344-6681. 1-888-344-6681 today.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden. This is his MO.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
If you or your parents are 62 years of age or older and a homeowner, RMApply.com has a message that is vitally important for you and your family. Did you know that you may be eligible for up to $625,000 in HECM benefits? Visit RMApply.com and apply for free to see how much you are entitled to. Right now, people just like you are taking advantage of their benefits and using the money to pay off debt. purchase precious metals, stock up on storable foods, and support this show's sponsors, you may be entitled to hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's your money, and you're entitled to it. Apply for free at rmapply.com. That's the letter R, the letter M, apply.com. rmapply.com. Or call them today for a free no-obligation evaluation to see how much you qualify for. Call 713-551-1155. That's 713-551-1155 today.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Coming up in the next segment, we're going to go to Dr. Conrad in Utah, Dr. Darren in Kansas, Bill in Los Angeles, Matt in the UK, Ronnie in Texas. We're needing your intel, what you're hearing about forced inoculations, quarantines. It's all in the executive order. The government says they may implement it. We're looking for signs that they are going to, or are they not going to. This whole thing is staged. That much is clear. The question is, what is the full extent of that? And I have 2 video clips we're going to play before we go to those calls. But everybody stay there because I want to talk to you. But I've got to get to these clips now. And that's a video clip, after we talked to Wayne Madsen, of a lady who says she's in the military training with the CHIPs in California for quarantines and checkpoints. We checked out all her info. We're trying to get her on. But the transponder trackers she talks about, those have been issued. The Army and Marine Corps working with CHIPs in checkpoints. We confirmed that 4 months ago. We didn't know why. Very illegal. And so that's what's so scary. And then we have a Texas peace officer saying the same thing from a month and a half ago in a video. So those are coming up. First her clip, then the calls, then to the other clip. Let's go ahead and go back to Wayne Madsen. Wayne, you went to the conference, you got there, you saw this, you confirmed a lot of what our other reporter was saying who was there and then got kicked out, and saying that the guy from 9/11 was getting very agitated over reporters being there and wanted them gone. That's why he said he was kicked out. You are saying, though, and you said this first here, and then it came out in the BBC, scientists say they believe H1N1 has been manufactured. But you're saying manufactured and released deliberately to just make money off vaccines, or is this something bigger?
Well, from what I understand from a person in the research community that's been spending all the time looking at where this came from, they may have used a human guinea pig to actually use what's called, they call it the mixing vessel. They couldn't use a pig because it didn't come from pigs to humans. It didn't come from birds to humans. It came human to human, that a human may have been the mixing vessel for this particular pandemic. And possibly that was an individual in Mexico, because they were the first cases we saw out of Mexico in the spring. And but all focus should be on the little Inuit village of Fort Brevig, Alaska, because that's where the corpse of a young woman who died in 1918. She was quite obese, so there was usable tissue because she was basically frozen in the permafrost. Those tissue samples were taken to the Armed Forces Pathology Institute in Rockville, Maryland, and I mean, this is the ground zero. Is that little Inuit village? It's apparently the village elders at first, when they went up there to get samples. They also went to Spitsbergen in Norway, but they didn't find anything there. So they were actually looking for samples of the 1918 flu. They brought this dead virus back to life.
And we've been talking about that for a decade. A lot of people have really been concerned about that. And the virologist, as you said, the genetic engineers are saying it looks like it was engineered from that. What's the goal then? Do they want to release something that kills 1 billion people so that they can reduce population? What's the point of this?
Well, I mean, if you look at this from a purely, criminal investigation standpoint, you've got companies standing to make a bundle of money on the vaccines. Obviously, you've got wrongful death, issues here, being that this is man-made. So where is the investigation? And now that I've found out that part of the research was funded by the Japanese government, hopefully the new prime minister, who's not, believe me, this is the first non-oligarch party government in Japan since the end of World War II, except for one brief time. The new party over there is full of a lot of reformists. Prime Minister Hanayama and his government is in a better position to investigate this, I think, than our administration.
Well, yeah, the number 3 guy in the Japanese government's been on this show now, and he believes 9/11's an inside job.
That's right. This is a Democratic